Who is climbing? Who is falling? And who just flat out stinks?
Some of y'all football sucks.
This is the Big 12 Power Poll with Jake and Ben on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Joe and Hanson Scotty coming up tomorrow, Friday, at RGS Exteriors from noon to 34235 Farm Road in West Jordan. All right, it's time for the Big 12 Power Poll, where we rank all 42 members of the Big 12 from bottom to top.
Favorite 25 minutes of my week? We should see if we can do a whole hour. Really spread it out.
I was hoping you'd forget about it because you weren't here on Tuesday.
No, never. It's my thing. It's my signature.
Where are we starting?
Let's start at the bottom of the barrel. Oklahoma State, still number 16.
The good news is there's nobody who is winless right now in the Big 12. Everybody has a win. The problem is Oklahoma State is 1-1, and their one win is over UT Martin, and they did score 27 points. But the last time we saw them, they got shellacked by Oregon 69-3. And they've had a bye week to sit with that now as they get ready for Tulsa this weekend.
Yeah, they stink. Way to go, Mike. Does he get canned, you think?
I think he does. I think he probably agrees to go away, but he renegotiated his contract last year essentially to make it easier to fire him and then followed it up with an absolute stinker.
In all honesty, you know what he should do? He should just pseudo-retire and be a golf course fundraiser for Oklahoma State. That's his best route.
I think you're exactly right. I'll take an extremely reduced role, pay me $250,000 a year. I'll be around.
I'll play golf with the donors,
yeah,
and we'll have a couple of beers in the clubhouse afterwards as I have them get their checkbooks out.
Tulsa is only 1-2. This game is tomorrow night, just so you know. Friday game.
Next.
Number 15, Colorado.
I think we all predicted that Houston was going to beat Colorado, and they did soundly. And I don't actually think Houston looked terrific in this game, but they're certainly a much better team than Colorado. Colorado's going to have a bad year. This is just starting to unravel.
Yeah, I don't know if Dion knows what he's doing. I wasn't sure Dion knew what he was doing for the last 2 years at Colorado.
They're going back to their other quarterback.
Do we think is there more Nate Hackett to Dion than we gave him credit for? He just had a good quarterback and he wrote him?
I just don't think his recipe for success long-term was going to work.
Certainly not at Colorado.
Not at Colorado. Yeah,
Five-star kids. Come play here.
I think he was going to do the celebrity thing, and I just don't know if that works long-term. And you know what? Shedeur was a good player. I think it was a little artificial, and I don't know if I'd call him a great player, like retire his jersey today,
sure.
Great player. But he was a good player, and Travis Hunter was a great player.
Yeah.
And that'll get you somewhere. But can he do it again without those two? I doubt it.
Not
Maybe.
looking like it. Do they beat Wyoming this weekend? I kind of don't think they do. Not that I thought Wyoming was spectacular against Utah.
No, but they're kind of salty.
They're pretty tough.
Yeah, I could see Wyoming putting up a fight against Colorado, 100%.
Yep.
All right, next.
Number 14, Kansas State.
Is it safe to say the wheels have fallen off? I mean, Arizona, I watched this game too, and Arizona will come up later. Maybe we should spend that time on them. Arizona is not a world beater. They're okay. No Fafita he's okay. He's somewhere in between what he looked like as a freshman and what he looked like as a sophomore. Because as a freshman, he looked like he was going to be the best quarterback in the country. And as a sophomore, you wondered if he was a starter at the D1 level. He is somewhere in between that.
Well, you could say the same thing about Avery Johnson, which is just so weird.
But amazing that Avery has failed to develop this badly, and that they went out and spent money to get better. Who was their quarterback who transferred to Ohio State and won the national championship? Like that was, and the narrative was, don't need to pay him. We got Avery coming in. Avery's been a huge disappointment.
Is it his fault though? I don't know. I'm not familiar enough yet, I guess, with the shortcomings of Kansas State.
But man,
there are other reasons you lose besides your quarterback. But yeah.
Going into a bye week was really tough. And again, they started out number 2 on this list. They're down at 14, and it might be a while before they climb up it.
Next.
Number 13, Cincinnati.
They did crush Northwestern State 70-0. That's promising.
Next.
They have a bye week this weekend.
Number 12, Central Florida.
Coming off of a bye, undefeated, 2-0. They do not have a good win on the season. But fun game this weekend. They get to go up against the adult novelty heiress
Oh, yeah.
and Bill Belichick at UNC.
Yes, they do. It's a statement game.
I think it's at home. I left North Carolina going to Central Florida.
Although our guy, Barry Trammell, thinks they're the worst team in the league.
Central Florida?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Oklahoma State's pretty rough.
He did say that, too. He's like, well, it might be Oklahoma State, but he's not real high on Central Florida.
I'm not buying them yet.
If they beat the adult novelty heiress, I mean, that'll be something.
ANH, yeah. Adult novelty heiress, the ANH. I'm going to go with that.
All right, what's next?
Number 11, West Virginia.
They did have a good win.
Yeah,
Beating-
Pitt's a real team.
Pitt's a real team. You could see how happy Rich Rod was after that game. Took OT to do it, but that was a comeback win. They were down in the fourth quarter and came back and put that victory together. And they were excited about it. That was a big win. That was a momentum win. You needed that. So getting that before you go on the road and play at Kansas is a good one.
Do you have a friend who's got, like, maybe his or her decision making is not the best, or they have a chaotic personal life or whatever, but once they get inside the office, they're just killing it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Rich Rod might be that.
Okay.
Like, he had a lot of chaos at Arizona. There was chaos at Michigan that probably went underreported. There certainly was chaos at West Virginia the first time that not everybody knows about.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a chaotic dude. He's kind of a loose cannon from an emotional standpoint, but he knows how to coach. He does.
He didn't do a great job at Michigan, but that's just because it was a really bad hire. But you're right. In between the lines, he is good. You get him in the stadium, as long as his girlfriend and his wife are separate, he's cooking. He's a good coach. I'm with
I
you.
feel so bad for his personal assistant. That was the story. She was the go-between.
She was doing the Mrs. Doubtfire dating scene.
Rub one side or the other.
Put on the makeup.
Rich, this wasn't in the job description, bro.
I don't care.
What am I doing here?
I do not care.
Next.
Number 10, Kansas.
All right, they are hosting West Virginia. This is a good game between two teams that are going to want to start out conference play with a win. Kansas does not have a great win so far on the season, but and they're coming off of a bye where they lost in a kind of bad fashion. So we'll see. They lick their wounds and get ready for West Virginia.
Go Mountaineers.
Okay. I'm a Jayhawks guy.
I know. Next.
Number 9, Houston.
Yeah, the jury's still out. Yeah, at very least, Houston has a better offense than they did last year. And their defense was pretty good, but the offense was not.
When did they win their third game last season? Because they only won 4, right?
Well, look up also when they scored 26 points.
Yeah, that's very true. Let me see. Their schedule last year, they started out... They didn't win their third game until they beat Utah in Week 8. So that was a week before Halloween, October 26th. So the fact that they're 3-0 is a big plus. Yeah, they're playing well. This is a good spot for them. Again, I don't really believe that their best win being Colorado, but they're going into a bye week feeling like they have some momentum. That's a good thing for them.
They also did not score 36 points at all last year.
Yeah.
No, their high was 33 against Rice. A game they won 33-7. So yeah, they've got a little bit of an offense. So I think if you want to use a cliche, I mean, sleeper, I think is a good term for Houston, maybe.
I just think if you play football in the state of Texas, especially in a major city, you should be reasonable.
I don't know if that's always true, but
I think you should be. The talent is there.
yeah, but you get far enough down the pecking order and it's not there.
And Houston is a cool athletic school. It has a good athletic department historically, usually basketball, but there should be interest there. Anyways.
But you could make the same argument for UCLA, but as you've talked about, like the people that want to stay in Southern California that are really, really good go to
Right.
USC. The rest of everybody leave, and then the leftovers go to UCLA. I mean, that's the...
You're right. You're going to Texas. You're going to Texas A&M. You're going to Oklahoma, and I know that's leaving the state. But by the time you get to Houston, you may have even gone through Baylor and TCU already as well, and SMU. And Texas Tech.
Yeah, and then now Texas State wants to pay a bunch of money, and UT San Antonio and all this stuff. I just don't know. There are a lot of football players in Texas, but I don't think that's entirely true. Houston still has to separate itself from a bunch of other schools because right now, the best in state go to Texas. Some consider Texas A&M. Probably the rest basically leave, and then the leftovers, the scraps.
But hey, man, they play Oregon State after this bye week. They get Texas Tech. That's a tough game. Then they get Oklahoma State. They have a real chance to be 5-1 and just have to win one more game before the end of the year to go bowling, which I think would be a very successful season. And they've got games against West Virginia and Central Florida left, so I think they're going to get to at least 6 wins.
What's next?
Number 8, Baylor.
1-1. They did just beat Samford.
I wish I would have ranked below or lower. I don't know if I'm a below or believer.
Am I wrong? They're 2-1. I've got them at 1-1. I just didn't update their schedule. They did beat SMU. You remember 48-45. That was a big win for them in OT. Another comeback, and they only lost to Auburn, so it's not like they have a terrible.
So maybe 8's right.
Yeah, they're middle of the pack.
What's next?
Number 7, Arizona.
Arizona might be fool's gold. They did not look particularly good against Kansas State, and I think Kansas State is actually just bad.
I don't know, but you brought this up the other earlier, and this is relevant. What's the real Arizona? 2 years ago or last year?
Yeah, somewhere in between.
I don't know. Maybe the reality was 2 years ago. Arizona's looked good so far. We talked to Mickey Mental about his thoughts about Arizona, and true. I mean, is Weber State playing against the Wildcats, but he came away thinking they were really good, and maybe Fafita is the guy we saw 2 years ago.
They've got a bye week, so they can rest on their 3 wins.
I didn't think that I thought Brent Brennan was a good coach when he took that job. I don't think last year was an accurate representation of him as a coach either. So I don't know about Arizona. I don't know if they are fool's gold.
First year coaching's hard.
They might be good.
Okay.
All right, next.
Number 6, Arizona State.
They might be bad.
They might actually be bad. Again, their only losses to Mississippi State. That's not a terrible loss.
Yeah,
At least
it's not a good one either.
Yeah, it's not a great SEC school by any means. So we'll see. They beat Texas State 34-15. They're not scoring a ton of points. 38 points against Northern Arizona, 34 points against Texas State. We'll see.
Scottaboo did a lot.
Man, he looked good this weekend, too.
He did a lot
Yeah,
last year.
He's a tough dude.
Next.
Number 5, TCU.
Well, they beat Abilene Christian 42-21.
I know it crushed you to rank Sonny Dykes this high.
I'm not a big Sonny Dykes guy. I think they're going to lose to SMU this weekend.
They have a win over the adult novelty heiress.
Yes, they do.
And we'll see. I don't know if SMU is any good. I wasn't confused. I mean, SMU had a good record last year, but
And they're
I
ranked.
wasn't convinced they were all that good last year. So I think SMU is riding kind of
They
a...
might not be ranked anymore.
all right, what's next?
Number 4, BYU.
Coming off a bye on the road at East Carolina, we've talked a lot about how good this East Carolina offense is expected to be, how good that quarterback is.
And the Cougars certainly haven't done enough to break into the top 3 yet.
I think East Carolina is going to score fewer than 17 points, and BYU is going to beat them 31-15.
That would be a huge defensive performance. East Carolina's offense is pretty good. If they limited them to that would be a W.
I think BYU's defense is one of the best in the country, and they've had a week to prepare.
If BYU got to 30 points, I'd be kind of surprised.
Okay.
I just don't know if
I think that's
they're
totally fair.
capable of rolling up a bunch of points. I don't know.
I think the defense is elite, and their special teams is really good again. So
Yeah, I'm with you. But ECU has a good quarterback,
Yeah, they
so if the defense held them in the teens, that'd be a pretty good day. All right, what's next?
Number 3, Texas Tech.
Bozos of Lubbock
In town.
in town.
Got to watch myself.
They beat Oregon State 45-14. Not ultra impressive. Oregon State's been putrid this year.
The Beavs are a disaster.
They are. But they did beat them. They do, again, have the best offense, at least the best scoring offense in college football. A lot of chunk plays. Huge plays. This is going to be a tough game for Utah's defense, especially if the corners do not perform much better than they have early in the year.
We are seeing the result of the Beavs and the Cougars of Washington State being left out in the cold. Last year, Washington State remained somewhat decent. Oregon State was bad last year, right? But we're seeing the recruiting fallout of not having a home.
The bottom has fallen out.
Yeah. I mean, why would you stay there?
But Texas Tech is really good. Their money has been well spent. And the thing is, they still look a lot like a Texas Tech team, which scores a lot of points. We'll see if the defense is any good.
That's the question.
Yep.
What's next?
Number 2, Utah.
Utah is going to be really tested here. This is going to be a great game. The advantage being at home, 10 a.m. You hope that kind of throws Texas Tech off of their game. But again, Texas Tech, they can really move the ball. Utah's defense is going to have to play better than it has so far this season. I know the defense has been really good and only gave up 6 points to Wyoming. You just still see some places where it looks a little bit softer. I think you're going to need big games from John Henry Daly. You're going to need the corners to play better. You're going to continue to need to win the takeaway battle. And it's going to really fall on the shoulders of Devin Dampier to control the pace of the game. Do not let this get out of hand offensively for Texas Tech. You're going to keep them off the field. That might be Utah's best defense.
So far in this early season, and these stats obviously mean very little based on what teams usually play, but Texas Tech so far this year been 15th in total defense.
Okay.
So
they have played nobody. Truly nobody.
Yeah, right.
Utah has played a tougher schedule than Texas Tech by a lot.
Utah has not played.
Utah hasn't played anybody either.
Yeah. So Wyoming's salty. All right, next.
Number one, still number one, Iowa State.
Not blowing my skirt up. 24-16, 24 points against Arkansas State. And they went on the road. Good for them for going on the road and playing at Arkansas State. That was weird. But they look like a good Iowa State team, which is a team that can never score, and they can't score still. So they're here now. They're not going to be the number one team at the end of the season because they can't score enough points.
I'm pretty comfortable with them at one still because expecting Iowa State to blow somebody out like Arkansas State is like expecting Rocky Balboa to get a knockout in the first round. That's not how he wins.
Not how he wins.
He stands there and gets beat up for 10 rounds, and then the other guy falls over. That's how Rocky Balboa wins. Iowa State wins 24-16. That's what they do.
It's quite literally what they do.
That's quite literally what they do. That's
they
how
scored
they play.
55 points against South Dakota. Tip your cap. That's not a real football team. But they beat Kansas State 24-21. Kansas State's awful. They beat Iowa 16-13. Iowa might be awful. And they beat Arkansas State 24-16. Arkansas State might be awful. They've got the best record and they've got the best resume, and I don't think it means a whole lot.
But Old Rock doesn't go out there and knock them out in the first
Correct.
round. That's not what he does.
No, it's not going to be pretty.
All right, there you go. Quick review. Christian, just do the top 10.
Top 10, Kansas at number 10, then Houston at 9. Number 8 is Baylor, Arizona at 7, Arizona State at 6, TCU at 5, BYU at 4, Texas Tech at 3, Utah at 2, and number 1, Iowa State.
And there you go. All right, coming up next, Don Williams. He covers Texas Tech for the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. We'll get the latest on the Red Raiders straight ahead. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.